You're listening to Federation Z Radio with your host, Zeon,
and your co-host Masuno,
and a guest.
Still.
Alright, so this is episode 2. And I'm not going to lie to you, kind of hectic week, so a little bit on the fly with 2 topics, but everything else has sub-notes. So today, we're actually going to be covering 4 things. 4 things that I think would be perfect for the 3 of us. We're covering Nintendo, consoles, YouTube, and Sonic. In that direct order as well. Hopefully, if we don't derail.
Let's see where we ripped off to.
Exactly, but as far as that goes, enough about me. Let's just jump right into it. Nintendo. Let's start with our opinions. I love them, but goddamn do they make some dumb decisions.
The fan base, in my opinion, is the one that kind of ruins their name for me because most of their fans are just guys in their 30s and 40s still living off the 80s and 90s Nintendo, as if they're still the golden boy, which they kind of never were in the first place. But
I like Nintendo. I've always been a Nintendo guy. I've never really been one against their policies because they usually put fun at the forefront.
You're right about that.
As you've said to me before, Nintendo knows their technology best. So when they put their all into a game, you literally see it all, you feel it all. Not every, but 80% of Nintendo's heavy-hitting franchises, there's so much love put into each one of them. Like Mario Odyssey, the ending of that game felt magical. The beginning of that game felt magical. I literally teared up in that part in New Donk City where they had you play the classic montage.
And that's that fire ass song when you first get there.
Yes, Jump Up Superstar, beautiful,
Yes.
Beautifully done.
Well, I personally haven't played Odyssey. I watched my girlfriend play, and she was absorbed in that, dude.
So good.
It was great.
The game makes you feel like you've earned everything.
But with that being said, Nintendo does some dumbass things with their policies. One of the biggest deterrences to their advancement has been their lack of just focus when it came to internet and net play.
Oh my god, that's the biggest. That's what I thought you were gonna say. That their online is as if they're still 10 years behind while still trying to keep up, but they keep lagging behind because they don't have a foundation for their internet interface at all. They still don't have a messaging system. They still don't have a party system unless you're using a separate app, like a separate device, instead of just being built into the console.
And on top of that, I get why they do that to circumvent the problems that here quotations, the problems that Sony and Microsoft have with voice chat and party chats, even though they have long since made ways to circumvent that. Oh, you don't want to be in lobby chat? Party chat, dude. Set it to private, invite only. I get it. Kids play your stuff. So how is it not possible for them to have, again, parental controls to, okay, you can't join a party.
Right.
Like, if you play online, you can't do that.
Or just mute everyone and be able to block people still.
Exactly.
What really sucks about that is I feel like within the next few years, Nintendo's going to do that, and they're going to pretend like it's some amazing thing that they created, because Nintendo does that. They're years behind the curve.
Oh, that's definitely going to be on direct. Like, oh, look at this new thing.
Yeah, they're years behind the curve, but when they do something, it's sort of like when iPhone comes out with technology that Android's been using for years, and they're like, hey, look at this new camera that we're using. Okay, but we've had that for a while.
Fanboys watching this video like, yeah!
By the way, that's on the way for the next iOS update.
For real?
Widgets.
Bro!
I swear, if I hear one person mention that shit, I'm gonna lose it. I
remember when they first got wireless charging.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, fuck Apple. That's actually a good topic for later, Apple versus Android. That could actually be in episode 3, actually. So, I'm gonna write that down real quick while we continue talking. But yeah, no, with Nintendo, don't get me wrong. I love Nintendo. I really do. Like, I grew up with Nintendo. I want to say a little bit more so than Sega. And I will, like I said, both have their ups and downs, but I really think Nintendo really rides on that Golden Boy title with their older fans. And through that, they really, they kind of think, that kind of enables them to think they can't do no wrong. We get it. They're more they're family oriented kind of company.
They're a household name.
Exactly. They're a household name, and they have been for years now. Perfect. That's them, man. That's their legacy. They can ride that till they die. Probably not. They probably won't die. But to the end of time, whenever their end is, and I enjoy that. But I just don't appreciate. Like, they what's what I'm looking for? They put the guise of fun, but behind that sign of fun is like a fucking behind that sign is a bunch of extra shit of like, okay, you can have fun with our stuff, but you can't do all of this that everybody else allows.
Right.
And that lack of innovation. And to put in better words, a friend of mine in the past has once told me, when Nintendo has that, if you come to Nintendo with an idea, they'll look at you and say, "Did we think of it first? No, then we're not doing it."
I get that, but I'm gonna need you to reword that because Nintendo is, if nothing, one of the most innovative consoles out there.
Talk about like when it comes to
outside opinions,
and also when it comes to new age stuff.
Okay,
when
I get you on
when it
that
comes to
one.
running with the time.
I get you on that one because, like I said, Nintendo's never been afraid to try something just completely wild and out there, and they've been on the verge of bankruptcy several times, and they just somehow find a way to just bring it back with the next generation.
It's because they're always sitting on that gold mine idea. They're always sitting on that idea, and they just got to be like, "Hey, man, this don't work. Whatever, man. It's been a tough run."
Yeah, no, right? It's like, look, dude, it's been real, fellas. It was funny though because I remember when I used to work at GameStop, I had a customer come in, and we were talking about Nintendo consoles, and he was talking about the Wii U and like the next console, and he was like, "Look, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a handheld and touchscreen." I was just like, I was just like, "Look, dude, it could be whatever, but you know what?" And then with fucking the release comes out, and I'm sitting here like,
Well,
I hope that guy's alive.
Well, I'll be damned. Oh my god.
I hope he's alive.
Pick
Like
up the fucking phone because he called it.
like I said, I really appreciate the things Nintendo does, but let's get into specifics for me personally with Animal Crossing.
Okay.
the
drip feeding of content.
He's very passionate about this game, guys.
I'm not that passionate.
I'm just getting into the Animal Crossing train.
Look, all right. So excuse me when I'm gonna make it sound pretty shitty, but
No,
it's still a good. It's still a good thing. So again, personally with me, New Horizons, beautiful. They did good. It was great. It's a $60. It's like a $60 early access game, if you ask me. I hate they did it and they put it in the guise of, oh, we're gonna update every season, and it's like they add stuff that New Leaf already had at launch. So it's like they're practically undermining it, and a lot of people are like, oh, the game's not supposed to be played or beaten at such a fast pace. It's like, I'm not mad at that. I'm mad that this shit should have been in the game from the get-go. I would have actually rather waited if they released the game later if that's what it took. Like, people actively defend it, and it's so frustrating to me.
People are very flip-floppy when it comes to delaying games or releasing it early, because they're very flip-floppy on that type of discussion. Because Cyberpunk 2077, people are now getting antsy about that game not being out yet, even though the CD Projekt Red wants to be perfect, but people are getting antsy now because they're like, is this game ever going to come out? It's just like, or you can just wait.
Yeah, like that's the problem. People always, and that's another thing with this day and age. A little sidetrack, but in this day and age, with development of games, they're just like, people are like, oh yeah, perfect, give them all the time they need. And then, maybe 2-3 years later, they're like, "We want it now."
Where's the fucking game, bro?
Here's a good example. Halo Infinite just got delayed. People have been making fun of that one meme, Craig the Brute, about how it doesn't look that clean, how the graphics aren't that good, and they've been calling it for it to be delayed so it can be better.
Clean it up.
And they finally delayed it, and they're like, "What's going on, Xbox?" It's just like,
what the hell do y'all want?
Yeah, people are very flip-floppy when it comes to delaying games or releasing it early.
A little bit off topic, but the situation with Animal Crossing sounds a lot like the situation with Street Fighter V.
Oh,
because me and Andre were both talking. I didn't have the issue of buying it day one.
Let's continue.
I didn't have the issue of buying it day one. I bought it a year after release. But Andre bought it day one, and he said, bro, if I could go back in time and slap the money out of my hand before going to GameStop to get it, I would have. Because they really did sell an incomplete game.
I think that's them coming in.
Probably.
They sold an incomplete game, and Capcom just does that. The first time I experienced something like that was in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where I could see my baby girl Elena just on the screen. I could see the other characters, like the DLC characters, on the screen as a selectable character, but I can't play as them. What the fuck is on disc DLC for? What is the purpose of that?
egg you on.
And
That's
so
what.
they don't have to do extra work when there's a paywall right there. Also, what happened to Tekken X Street Fighter, guys?
like it's just a really bad thing nowadays.
It's a bad practice.
Yeah, it's a really bad practice. Like I said, they're putting it under the guise of updates for each occurring season, but it's like no, you just put it in there and do something new. They cut back so much in that game. Like, have you played New Leaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll notice. You'll be like, well, where's half the shit from New Leaf? Gone.
But it's weird because I guess it's like they want to treat it since it's an island. Like I'm just going by the mindset.
No, I think that too.
It's just an island. It's just like they don't want to put everything all on that one island.
But it's like I feel as if they cut themselves to it.
I mean,
They cut themselves to the island theme, and another thing is I think it should have been bigger. Like I personally think the island should have been bigger, and what else? They should a lot of features. I will admit that they add the Dream Suite. I like that you could just jump into a bed and then access the Dream Suite. I do not appreciate how you need their what do you call it?
Nook Miles tickets.
No, not that. You need their code.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You need their what is it? Dodo code.
No. Sorry, Dodo code's for when you want to go to their island. You need the Dream code now. Just codes out the ass, dude. What is with them?
I feel like they had potential with the island theme. Like they could have allocated a lot of events to the islands, but they're only allocating maybe 1 or 2 events every other month or something. Like the wedding event was pretty fun. It was cute, but it got stale really fast.
Mm-hmm.
They should just give us access to more islands and events at a time.
And the Easter event, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not like the Easter event at all.
No one likes the Easter event. Fuck that bunny bastard.
The Easter event at launch was very bad.
Also,
Zipper T.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Zipper T.
They fucked up with all the drops you would get from the Easter event, and you just get nothing but that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were useless.
Open a present. Oh boy, I hope it's a new DIY. What the fuck is this?
Yep.
An egg.
Yep.
Here you go, Timmy, Tommy, take this shit.
Trying to get resources, eggs.
Right.
Why even bother? Trying to fish, egg.
I felt that pain because all I do is fish all day to sell.
It's funny though. Like they unintentionally created a farm to get the golden slingshot.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
So a lot of people got that way earlier than they would have anticipated. Though the golden tools being able to break, stupidest thing. That's stupidest thing. I would have rather worked harder for the golden tools if it meant they wouldn't break. It's so stupid. The fact that they were just like, haha, and I'm like,
Now, another topic I want to bring up about Nintendo is I need them to really stop picking favorites with their franchises.
Oh
yes.
I need them to get on it because there's a fan. I understand if a few select fanboys are crying out for a new game. The drive for a new F-Zero is there, but it's not as strong as the drive for the next Metroid, and I get it, we got information on it, but...
Nah, man, Nintendo treats their franchises like they treat, like Viz Media treats anime, the big 3. Boy, Mario, Metroid, and Zelda. That's it.
I don't know if Metroid's part of their big 3 anymore.
Probably Yoshi.
Nah, Mario, Kirby,
Mario,
Zelda.
Yep.
There you go.
We need a new 3D Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, we need to stop having Tropical Freeze be re-released every year.
For $60.
Oh, fuck. For 60, dude.
Yeah.
Also, Nintendo, stop coming out with 1 or 2 updates or no updates for your games, such as Mario Kart Deluxe 8 or Super Mario Party. That has no updates. That has never been updated. There's so much content to be added to that. Online. Create your own board. Anything like that. Super Mario Maker 2 has only had 2 updates.
That's a damn shame.
And the second update they said is the last one.
I would love for a Super Mario Party update where you can create your own board. That sounds sick.
The technology's there.
Right. They could have done something like that, like they did with Mario Maker. It's not that difficult. You could even set up what mini games. You could have a thing where you set up a theme.
Yes.
Like you set up a board theme and then have mini games picked out for those themes. That would be incredible. A customizable Mario Party game, bro. Why? Where is that?
Oh, I came at the right time. Honestly, they need to go back to their roots with Mario Party.
They need to get the original team back.
Yeah, because back then, all the original ones I played, dude, they were so much fun. It was even like one simple mini game could make me laugh for like 10 minutes for just how absurd it was.
One simple mini game was the choice between life for your stars or the end of your friendship.
like they really lost their touch because I think they wanted to go a more like I get the uniqueness they wanted to go with for future Mario parties, but due to that, they lost what made them truly that hype thing in a party, at a party setting. Like nowadays, like, oh yeah, let's play Mario Party. You guys are having fun, but then you kind of sit there and you kind of reminiscing a bit. You're like,
yeah, you're sitting there. You're not so much playing this Mario Party to play it. You're playing this Mario Party to dissect it and talk about how it's not the previous Mario Party.
Yep.
Now I'll say I loved the maliciousness of what was it, 10, where you're all in the same car.
Yeah,
that's how you fuck with people. That was a step I know it was something a lot of people hated. I agreed with that shit. Because if I could be a dick, and you watch me be like, in the previous Mario Party games, people could be doing something else and you didn't have to pay attention until it was your turn.
Yeah.
Here, you're sitting there watching your friend like, hey, bitch, I see the dice you rolled. And I see how many spaces it is to that Bowser space. And I know for a fact I'm going to be the one on the ass end of that ass whooping. So make your choice.
Hey, man, that's how it is. But I like the Mario Party from the N64 because it's just like, I'd just be robbing people for coins all day. Like, okay, you can have stars, but how you gonna buy another one? How you gonna buy another one?
That is very, very true. Of course, until the stars are on the line.
Oh boy, when that star's on the line, or even if you just mess with me, I'm targeting the whole game.
Oh my god!
First place is not winning for me anymore. Winning is you not winning.
Yeah, like I have my own agenda now.
Yep.
we can get into Mario Party, but all it's doing is making me want to talk about Sonic Shuffle. But that's a topic for the Sonics.
Yeah, we're building
that later.
Actually, well, I mean, with Nintendo, I mean, personally, I don't have too much of other gripes. Like, I love the Switch.
With Eric a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. You're good. Let's do a side cut. Shit, man.
This little whisper conversation on this podcast, that's probably going to be a thing, guys.
Like, I love the Switch. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the.
One of the best consoles
I love the
forever.
Yeah, I love the creativity. And again, going back to Nintendo, their ideas. They're just like, you know what? It's time.
It blew my fucking mind when I saw the first Switch trailer and they pulled the controllers apart and then handed someone the other one. I was like, bro, what is that?
I remember when I first saw it, I was just like, that's the console I've always wanted. You can just take it wherever you want and play it at home.
I was also biased because they announced Splatoon 2 at the same time.
Oh my God.
As an esport. I was like, bro, see, that's what my team was made for.
When's the last tournament, buddy?
Listen here, CCI kind of disbanded on Splatoon for a while. We're waiting for Splatoon 3. We coming back.
I mean, like I said, I
Ninjala.
love it. Like I said, I love the Switch. I love Nintendo's creativity. But I think, like I said, back to like how they cuck themselves. I think they're cucking themselves to being like the family name. Like, actually, this is the perfect way to fall into the console topic now. Speaking of consoles, I think Nintendo are the only ones who are safe from that view of exclusivity that Xbox and PlayStation are selling, because a Switch trying to emulate half the fucking games that Nintendo have in their systems is a pain in the ass. But with Xbox and PlayStation, you're like, oh, that's gonna release in 2021, right? Okay, well, I guess I'll see you in 2023 when it's on Steam. Something like that. Yeah. Like, that's why, like, I talk about it with my coworkers at work all the time. He's like, one dude, he's like, man, fucking Xbox, dude, you see that shit? It's amazing. And I'm like, look, man, unless the PS5 has backwards compatibility all the way to the One, I'm not touching it.
I don't get why they're not doing it with their expansive library that they have. Sony literally has one of the best libraries ever, and they can do that.
Yeah. They would rather try to squeeze more money out of you with their stupid service.
Nintendo doing something better with their virtual library. They're doing something. Come on, guys! Like,
now even if it's in bits, they're still getting it out. Yeah, they're still getting
their stuff out there.
I can play Super Mario World on my Switch.
I could literally just be like, I'm bored.
And then you can play Super Mario Brothers, because it has both of them.
And guess what? Weirdly, it has multiplayer built in there now.
And what's that? Only $20 a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a family plan.
Come on.
Like,
come on, Sony. With an Xbox, you can take a 360 disc and put it right in there. Please.
Nintendo may have been the last one across the finish line when it came to doing things right online, but good lord, that price tag.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
That's not a price tag you can really argue with. It's just the fact that since you're paying for it now, you expect a higher quality.
Yeah. Like still wasn't here, but like in the first episode, we did talk a bit on consoles. Okay. So this conversation is going to be kind of like a pseudo version of that, but with your opinion in it now.
All right.
So because, like I said, like I always say this to everybody, the deal of exclusivity with Sony and Microsoft is fading. Because if you think about it, it's virtually the same thing. Like I explain it to everybody. You're practically buying a pre-built PC, but it's restricted to, just games and movies. Like you can't, like if you want to get into all the technical stuff, you can off chance ruin your system and then void any warranty you have, because then they're like, oh, you tampered with our shit.
You're buying a Steam machine basically.
Practically.
There's an actual, there's a really good example of this veil of exclusivity.
No, you're good.
Being lifted on. Shut up, man! I'm a voice actor.
He's a voice actor, can't talk.
I do this all the time in my streams, by the way. I'll mess up on words.
Trust
and
me.
Shut up!
Me too. Read. Trust me. Me too.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be
fair.
To be fair. The perfect example I have is of the game Persona 4 Golden. Now, Persona has been an exclusive PlayStation thing, except for the Q series on Nintendo DS. However, the internet literally shit itself. I've never seen a Steam page go down for excessive downloads within hours of the game being announced that it's coming to Steam. The Persona 4 Golden Steam page was shattered. I had to wait in line. I've never had to wait in a queue to download a game from Steam before. I don't know if that's a common thing. No. I don't know if you guys ever been through that.
No.
But the fact that I sat there and looked at a damn queue to download the game.
Download Fall Guys was easy as shit.
Right. And I'm like, yo, so the people were losing their minds. They're like, oh my god, Persona 4 Golden's now on Steam. What does this mean for the rest of the franchise? It means the rest of the franchise is either going to stay on PlayStation or could be ported to Steam. We could be looking at Persona 5 on Steam. Royal did drop to high praise. It's not coming to Switch. Y'all going to have to accept that. But...
oh, they definitely hated on that.
Oh, yeah, they hate that. I love how the argument is, oh, why do we have to wait? Why do we have to get a PlayStation 4 to play Persona 5 Royal when it can easily be ported to the Switch? But then when SMT 5 gets announced, it's like, fuck, boys, you're going to have to get a Switch to play it. It's Nintendo only. Y'all can't have your cake and eat it too like that. That's not how it works.
Man, they
Atlas, man, they're weird.
Oh my god.
Atlas is a weird company.
Persona 4 goes only on PlayStation, but Persona 4 Arena, that fighting game was on Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It damn sure was, because it was I want to say it's because it was a broader type of game. Anyone could jump into a fighting game.
All these Xbox guys, who are these characters? When can I play this game?
That's when the surge of Persona fandom came in. I swear, I can't tell you how many people I know told me, yeah, I've only played the fighting game Arena. I don't know much about the rest of the series.
You just look at them like,
That's a good intro to the series. I mean, that's when you started telling me about Persona, when that game came out.
I can't say that's a good intro to the series because it's literally not what the series is about at all. I mean, the game does tackle a lot of the issues the main stories tackle, psychological trauma, accepting yourself, and shit like that. But the fact that it's a fighting game is going to leave the wrong impression on people, because then they're going to go, oh, sick, people are saying Persona 3 was one of the best ones, let me play it. Why am I this emo-looking douchey school kid with a gun trying to shoot himself in a turn-based RPG? I thought we were scrapping.
Kind of are.
All right, fair.
But going back to consoles, like I said, I always say it. Like I said, this topic won't last that much longer.
Oh.
It's we're still good.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, this won't really last that much longer because, like I said, we already covered it. We just want your opinion on it now because, again, for me, I grew up with PlayStation, and I eventually ended up getting a 360 with my family, and I'll admit, my cousins had the PlayStation 3, and we had the Xbox 360. It was great. I loved the both of worlds. It was interesting, but over time, it's kind of like, well, what am I spending my money on? Like, of course, but also hearing prices are going to go up to like $70 now for games.
For games, yeah. I did hear
I don't
something
mind
like
that. I don't
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
what
the
I was thinking,
quality.
too. I
But
don't mind that.
see again that also goes back to like
It's just inflation.
what.
Honestly.
yeah, that's it. They're just applying inflation at this point because now like we've been getting fucked for too long with this price.
I mean, people are willing to spend $600-700 on a system, so it's like, well, y'all don't y'all, a $70 game. That's what y'all mad about? Y'all buy controllers like that, so it's like,
Oh, yeah, exactly. So yeah, like I said, it's worth it if it will mean better quality games. But then, like this, what actually prompted this whole podcast was talking about it when we were watching the PlayStation 5 reveal, and it was just kind of like what Masuno had pointed out was just like half these games don't even have a definitive release date. 1, 2, it's just mainly graphics and scenes rather than gameplay, and it's like a streamer I watch.
That's
real quick. Like he literally like watches stuff like that, and he's like, I don't care until I see gameplay. And
I'll say, be fair, Microsoft did the same exact thing the conference before and the conference after. I'll be fair and say that I'm an Xbox person, but Microsoft is guilty of it too.
I feel like that type of thing is also really tricky because the way games are nowadays, unless it's super stylized, super cartoony, if you see it in a realistic light, you're sitting there wondering, is this how gameplay actually looks, or is this just how the cutscenes are? Because it's not like it was back in the day where you could easily tell that's a pre-rendered cutscene, and then we get gameplay. Now you're sitting there wondering, like, the Horizon trailer at the end of the PlayStation 5 reveal, that could very well have all been actual gameplay instead of just straight up cutscenes.
Right.
But it's still an issue I noticed Sony has a lot with their IPs. It's easy to rip on, what was it, the Order 1886?
Yes.
Oh, God.
That's a really easy target, but there's a lesson to be learned from that, where you can hype yourself up as the next generation of game, and you can see yourself as this big blockbuster title when really you're just a movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I remember seeing the PlayStation 4 event, and that was the one game that stood out to me. I wanted to play that so badly because it reminded me of like Van Helsing. It reminded me of a Van Helsing game. And I was just like, man, that's gonna be the game I'm gonna play. Then I see the gameplay, and I'm just like, this is boring.
Right.
Yeah. Nowadays, they're really trying to get away with that. Like we had talked about it last episode. It was about the Telltale games, but because it's a simple formula that gets boring real quick because it's like you have pseudo control.
Right.
And it's like, okay, you have the illusion of choice, and it's like, okay, I'd rather just go watch a movie at this point. Like you could literally, like I said in the last episode, I'm sure you could just pick up a controller and sit in front of a movie, and you're like, haha, I'm doing something.
It's almost like did you ever have the DVD for Spy Kids 3D?
Yes.
Yes.
That segment where you got to play the game, that death race thing.
Yeah.
You really didn't have much control. It was just like, it was almost like playing old school Dragon's Lair.
Yeah. I thought of that in a second. You said I was
just the most basic of basic quick time events and the slightest pretense of choice. That's all it really was.
I would love to have like a battle royale death race like that, like from
Yeah.
Ready Player One or something like that.
Oh, that would actually be really, really cool.
That's something I would play the death.
And on the topic of consoles, I know this is a little bit off topic, but this is my personal preference. Since I unfortunately wasn't there for the first conversation, I grew up with a Sega and a Nintendo. My first console that I got for myself, it was on my birthday, and I got a PlayStation 2. I didn't get an Xbox until, third grade, 2003? So I was having fun with it. I enjoyed the original Xbox, but I really see that how you're raised and the situations you're raised in can alter what types of games you gravitate to. As I grew up, I quickly learned the Xbox 360 was tailored for people that were more into an online experience.
Yeah.
I never had good internet growing up.
Pro players.
He grew up with the lag. He was molded by it. He hasn't seen a 4-bar connection until he was already a man.
Jeez.
Is that why I still play Overwatch? Holy shit. Is that why I'm good at Fall Guys? Because that fucking net play is ran by a potato, I swear to God.
Oh my god, that servers are always down.
So
many people.
yeah, I didn't have anything online until I was in, and I mean good online, until like 2012.
Ooh.
Like when I got out of high school. Like
Jesus.
I remember playing Nostale with you, and I was lagging.
Jesus.
Of all things.
Like,
Oh,
all things to lag
MMO?
on Zeon. It was Nostale. Like my internet was garbage, so I didn't really care about online games. I wasn't, and this is, funny considering I do semi-pro gaming. I'm part of a gaming team, and we do online events.
You'll probably hear from them in future episodes. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I was never that big on online gaming, so I was never really that adamant about Xbox. In the console war, I always saw PlayStation as the console geared towards solo experience. I saw PlayStation as the RPG powerhouse.
You were 100% right because they have a lot of roots dedicated to RPGs, mostly JRPGs, because of
Sony.
PlayStation 1 and PS2. That's where a lot of that
That's
stuff
where they
come
flourished.
from. Yes.
Final Fantasy VII stepping into the ring with a PlayStation 1 was just
That was a heavy hitter.
chef's kiss.
Xbox.
Beautiful.
Some of their RPGs like Fable or what's that? What was that other one? I forgot about it. I had to think of the name. Honestly, I'm sorry about that, guys.
Oh, for Xbox?
Yes, it was a Japanese RPG. It was just only on Xbox.
I know they had Tales of Vesperia, and I'm a huge Tales of fan. I was a little jelly about
Try to
that.
describe the game, actually.
Forgot. I'm a blank. I'm sorry, guys.
They also had one Shin Megami Tensei game on Xbox as well. Can't remember what that one was either, but
That's because Microsoft rarely has good roots with everyone. It's just that the crowd shifts.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right now they're on PlayStation side. The crowd will. I predict the crowd will shift again.
I think so too. And on that note of they've been good with everybody. I think the CEO of Xbox has been talking to the director of Final Fantasy 14 about getting Xbox
Oh.
server, like getting Xbox alongside it. Like they send letters. Like I read it. Like they send letters to each other. They talk. Like they're trying to figure something out here.
I think that might be a panic move because of Phantasy Star Online.
Oh well, Phantasy Star Online 2 is straight with Xbox,
Yeah, I know.
and Sega is just like Sega's loving Xbox.
Yeah, so
So hopefully we can get some Atlas games.
I mean,
Here's hoping.
y'all have Catherine, don't y'all? Isn't Catherine on Xbox?
Yeah, the first one y'all got. Yeah, there was a re-release.
Full,
We didn't get
full
that
body only came on PlayStation, and ironically, it came to Switch.
One. Yes.
Of all the games, Catherine, the game about cheating on your girlfriend, is on the family-friendly console.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo weird. They got
They
a lot
are.
Of,
Nintendo's library is crazy, bro. I have I could pull out my Switch right now and show you. I'm playing a goddamn dating sim called Nin Nin Days.
I think I heard of that.
Yeah, it's
They have a lot of shovelware on Nintendo on their store.
this. Yeah, Big Titty Ninja Girl.
We need to get a video version now.
All right, we definitely
So we
need
can
to
show people.
to see this. But back to what you said about actually, we did not cover that topic though with consoles.
Okay.
Growing up, like affecting people's console choices growing up.
So, me personally, I grew up with a Sega, but I also grew up with a lot of brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there you go.
sharing video games was a big thing.
Yes.
And
Same.
I was the youngest one growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so like the last one to play the video games that my grandfather went out and got a Nintendo for me. He got it from his nieces and nephews because they didn't like it anymore. And he came home with a Nintendo and 20 games.
Mm.
I grew up just having Nintendo and sometimes playing Sega. Then eventually we got a Nintendo 64, a Sega Saturn, just playing just all those classic console games, just completely full of libraries too, by the way, just at least 45 games for each console. My brother eventually got a job at McDonald's, got a PlayStation 1, played that all day, Spyro, Crash Team Racing. Oh my god. that
Good
was-
times. Yeah, for me, I don't remember too much about the Nintendo days up to like 64, but I definitely remember the PlayStation and the fucking multi-tap.
Woo!
Never had that.
Bro, Def Jam Fight for New York with a multi-tap. Fun times.
Man, y'all grew up cool because we didn't have it was 2-player only.
Now, see, I grew up with a younger brother and 3 older sisters, two of which two of my older sisters played the games with me if they felt like it, but one of them was a devoted gamer. Like, she's the reason why I know most of the games I have. Like,
Oh, really?
I didn't really have a choice in what games I got.
I had a female influence in my life in video games. My mom brought me into video games.
See, luckily, my sister that got me into video games was into games like Final Fantasy, Fable. The only game I knew for myself was Kingdom Hearts. So that might be why it holds so dear to me as one of my favorite franchises. I'm currently wearing the hoodie.
My mom brought me in with Sim City.
Whoo!
Classic Sim City. That was her favorite game.
Good times. Still trying to get a Megapolis on the SNES. I'll probably stream that sometime. So I think that's actually, this is a good note to wrap up the consoles. Like it's definitely an experience of how you grew up, whatever you had available, which definitely shaped it. Because for me personally, like I said, it was like fuzzy on the Nintendo to 64, but from then on, I ended up having handhelds a lot. I was more handhelds. Let's see, this is another can of worms. We'll probably save this for later. Oh hell yeah, actually.
So I grew up, since I had brothers and everything, I love playing multiplayer games. I love online games. I love playing with friends. It's something big. I can still play single player games, but it's just not as I don't like it as much as I do love multiplayer games. That's why most of these games I like coming out are multiplayer.
See, that's the difference in personality, because I grew up with a lot of people to play games with, and I saw my sister playing, because she was the oldest, she played whatever game she wanted, and she never really let me play a game unless it was multiplayer. So that sort of wanted me, that mystery and allure of single player games that I could never play because my older sister called dibs on them, that made me just pine for single player games. And while I did like multiplayer, I was never really, I couldn't keep up with my friends online. I was never really all that great with shooters. So I just naturally stuck to the single player experience.
Yep. And then for me, I love me a good single player experience and I love me a good multiplayer experience. Like, it depends on the mood. RPG specifically, and I think this will be the last note on that, is just I love getting absorbed in an RPG. Yes. And like, I love a single player game where I can sit there and be like, well, I'm going to be playing this for a while. And yeah,
it's such a good feeling.
Yeah, it's
RPGs,
beautiful,
man. RPG, they fucking.
That's actually probably another good talking point. Let's.
Ooh, please bring me in on that one, because
RPG.
I just dropped 3 franchises in that one talk.
You're probably going to be more than just a guest, dude. You probably
at this rate. At this point, all right. So
last note, we all grew up as the youngest and just watching first.
Absolutely.
So we have no problem watching video games, Twitch, YouTube, anything like that. Which will bring us to the next topic of YouTube.
I was a middle child.
Shut up.
I'm a middle child now, but at the time I was the youngest.
All right,
that's fair.
YouTube, holy shit! Now I actually have notes for YouTube.
Word.
Yes. Let's start from the top. Actually,
We all three of us have more than enough experience watching YouTube videos. Some of us have experience making and editing YouTube videos, garnering an audience as well. We have another guy also who's a Twitch streamer, sees the other side of content creating, of the live side, other than just recording.
Yes. Actually, let's first go about our experiences with YouTube. I'll begin.
I would love for Kirby Combo to be here about the Twitch conversation.
Oh, dude, that would be great.
Oh no, that's the first person I thought of the second you started talking about anything.
Ah, beautiful.
Nice.
Because I thought of a fighting game seminar in which I lead because I'm not good at that.
Oh yeah.
We need him.
I have a pseudo experience, but he would definitely really shine for that.
Maybe it's just a side show.
For me personally, YouTube for me was YouTube poops. I'm gonna admit it was.
Oh boy.
Exactly. It was literally kind of like just the bread. Like my brothers and I, actually mainly just one of them, but we would literally just be like, all right, we need to laugh. And I mean, not just laugh. I mean, we need to like be gasping for air laughter. And personally, I really love the creativity that came with YouTube poops, because having to splice voice clips just so they could say dick was like so much effort. And like even the people who went an extra mile and had to like, okay, if I'm like taking this character definitely out of scene with like you only get like a certain portion of their body, they had to redraw the body no matter how crude it looked. It was like, well, fuck it, we gotta get it going. And I think those days in YouTube were definitely the golden days, because it really, creativity really flourished. And people were like, the freedom of being able to be like, okay, I like, someone has an idea, they shit it out and see where it takes them. And and that's what I miss, is being able to do this, but now people are like adhering to these really draconian laws, and like, oh, if you want to make money, you know, like honestly, it really pisses me off when like people end up censoring themselves in like videos, and like and especially when it's like a stupid sound effect, like a gaming video, and they like make like the coin sound from Mario, and I'm like, it's stupid to me personally. Just say it, you know. It's not even that bad. I'm like, oh, I gotta stay monetized, and I'm like, you gotta take a stand, dude.
Weird thing is, a lot of YouTubers, most of their audiences are adults, so it's just like, I don't understand why everything needs to be family friendly to make money.
See, Dashy actually did take some time to edit himself, but now he said, "Fuck it." He's just out there cursing again.
Because it's such a hassle. Because it's like, what, like, if you don't want your kids watching this, pay attention to what they're watching.
Right.
And YouTube is like, YouTube's going that unnecessary extra step and being like, oh well, you know, we're just gonna take matters into our own hands with shitty bot system, an easy to abuse claim and DMCA system. It is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's almost as if you literally have to make sure to even make money, you have to jump through hoops and bounds and everything like that. You literally have to stretch yourself out. It's like
it's exhausting. Like with the 10-minute video limit and stuff like that.
It's gonna be 8 minutes now.
Oh yeah, see, 8 minutes now, and because I forget how, I don't know if it's different now, but I remember like animators suffer the most because like they can't shit out constant videos every day, or like every other day, or even weekly half the time to like catch up to actually start making a decent profit. And now it's really difficult and discouraging because it's like you have all these creative people and they have nowhere to go.
Now, have you heard of the YouTuber Narmak?
No.
He recently got skyrocketed to fame. You may not have heard of him, but you may have heard of his product, the SpongeBob anime.
Oh, snap!
Have you seen
Definitely
that?
heard
Wait,
that.
Didn't he get like dive bombed?
He got hit with two strikes from YouTube.
DMCAs?
Yes, and if you get 3, your channel's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he got 2 for that, and the reasons were because one, they said it wasn't for kids. Despite YouTube, I don't know if you guys uploaded a video on YouTube lately, but now they straight up ask you, is this for kids?
No, yeah, when I attempted to upload the podcast on YouTube at first, yeah, I saw that. It was like, is this content, you know, for, I was like,
if you put it for kids, you can't have any comments at all.
Yeah,
no interaction.
I had, when I was doing, I do promos for my stream now, and every time I do a promo, I upload it to YouTube to get more attention for it, and even if there's nothing bad whatsoever in it, no cursing, no graphic footage, no nudity, nothing. It could be the cleanest, safest thing ever. I still will say it is not marketed for kids because it doesn't matter if the video's safe for kids or not. If you have something marked as safe for kids to watch, and they start checking your channel, the rest of your content will get flagged because for whatever reason, even if you did say it wasn't for kids, they're going to be like, oh, well, this one video was for kids, so why aren't all your videos for kids?
Yeah, because YouTube, they fucked themselves because the reason they're doing that now is because they got fined for like, I believe it was like $120 million for gathering children's information for ads.
Yeah, and that was a horrible play in my opinion. Like, I'm gonna wait for Zeon to come back so I can talk about my history with YouTube.
Their advertisers are a cancer.
Yes, they are.
100%.
So yeah, as you were saying.
So, like you talked about your beginning with YouTube, and it really struck a chord with me because I loved YouTube poops, but I didn't really discover them I didn't really discover the full gravity of them until I started hanging out with you and Sokwa and the rest of the gang from high school. And to me back then, YouTube was a place for me to create a new skill. My friend introduced me to YouTube through my first AMV. And watching my first AMV, and I'll never forget it, it was a Naruto AMV to the song Smooth Criminal, the cover by Alien Ant Farm. It was garbage as all AMVs were back then.
Holy shit!
No editing.
Can you imagine watching your very first YouTube video?
Bro, I still do. I humble myself, and then I look back and go, "Damn, despite how shitty it was, I was still a good video editor back
By
then.
the way, people,
I cut my clips, I synced it properly, I was good.
By the way, people, this guy still, he used to make AMVs when he was in 11th grade, and he garnered our audience, and he was nervous and weirded out by it. I literally had to tell him, you have fans.
I had like 1,000 followers at some point. Well, 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, my original channel. And I'm like, Jesus, what do I do now?
And then he stopped.
Look, man, depression hits hard, okay?
This was back in 2010.
Look, man, depression hits hard, okay? I haven't even really got to befriend that guy, Zeon, back then.
He could have been grandfathered into YouTube fame.
I really could have.
Actually, he could have ended up being a big name in AMVs.
I could have, with any luck, I could have been a big name with AMVs. I also could have probably been with Team 4-Star if I stuck to my Abridged series idea, because I jumped on that immediately, like before Dragon Ball Z Abridged came, before Yu Yu Hakusho Abridged came.
Back in the days of the X-Men video.
Yeah.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh, on a quick side note with that was probably one of the only few things in my life that made me laugh so hard my eye was twitching, dude. Like, my cousins thought I was dying or something, because I was just like, at my age, hearing that kind of profanity and like that just vulgarness was like,
this man almost had a stroke.
This is my
he
shit.
He couldn't believe it so bad he almost had a stroke. So you talked about your beginnings. Let me talk about my beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for the beginning of Let's Plays.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for the very beginnings of Let's Plays. That's how I started. My friend Jarrell, he just put up YouTube and said, yeah, look up a Let's Play video so we can see how to get past the thing. I said, a Let's Play? What's that? He said, you never heard of those? I said, no. First Let's Play video I ever watched was Fable 2.
I can't remember mine.
First I ever saw was for Afro Samurai the game. I remember specifically fighting the number 2.
And then just watching those skits on YouTube, watching comedy skits. I was never personally a fan of YouTube poops. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But like just YouTube was just like, oh my god, I got addicted right after that. I stopped watching TV after I discovered YouTube. Mm-hmm. That's how big it was for me.
I'm a firm believer of when you were 12, if you were fully devoted to something, that thing stuck with you. And for me, like I said, it was AMVs. From that point on, I still make AMVs to this day. The last video I made as a promo for my YouTube channel was an AMV.
I still remember my first AMVs. That's back when Naruto was when it first started and was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in middle school, just up all night, on a weekend night, up all night just watching Naruto AMVs all night.
And to see the state of YouTube now, like Zeon said, it was YouTube back then was a melting pot of creativity. Now everyone's got this rule set, like this mandate that you need to follow, and it's so oversaturated with the same material. Everyone's a gamer now. I know I have no right to talk because I'm starting to stream now.
We're all gamers.
Yeah,
but everyone's a YouTuber now. Everyone's playing the same games. It's because of YouTubers that Fortnite is considered the only game that exists to most adults, to news outlets.
Yes.
If it's not violent, it's Fortnite.
Yeah, oh my god.
Ironically, I watched my girlfriend's niece just the other day play Fortnite yelling, die, 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 like she was Reaper from Overwatch or something. Like, it was...
It really boiled... And then, not to mention, everyone's got it out for each other.
Yes, they do.
It is nothing but backstabbing and betrayal half the time.
It's not a community anymore.
Don't go to the makeup community.
Oh, look, we're gonna leave it at that. No, I don't even dare want to talk about that because it's like
get on that too.
Like, talking of like hearing shit happening when people just are trying to fuck each other over, and I'm like, what's the gain? He hurt your fifis, and now you want now the only reparation is completely ruining anything and everything they've built. I hate it.
Going after sponsors, all that crap.
That is literally the topic for the next thing. We're not even gonna say the character's name in question. We're just gonna leave it at that.
Just talking about certain things, you know.
Yeah,
could be anybody.
Yeah, could be anybody.
I wonder who.
Could be specifics, but whatever. So again, I like, and even with looking at alternatives, unfortunately, because everybody like flocked to YouTube, it helped build them up. I think it was It was that episode of South Park where they tried to like they were going against the big corporations, and then they start like, all right, fuck you, big corporation. We're gonna start supporting the small guys, but then the small guys end up building up. Yep. And then actually, on a side note, I noticed people like someone made a comment about like Rooster Teeth and how they used to be a group of guys making silly voiceover videos and all that shit, and now they're like a corporation and their quality dropped.
I applied to Rooster Teeth many times. I applied to Rooster Teeth many times.
I see. The way Rooster Teeth became a big corporation, I gotta take the good and the bad on that, because while it is while it's good to see a organization like that flourish, you gotta worry about them getting their heads up their own asses and starting to gatekeep the communities.
That's exactly what happened to them and Machinima.
Machinima, yes, and like, I still follow Rooster Teeth loosely. The only things by Rooster Teeth I support are Ruby and Camp.
The only thing I follow from Rooster Teeth is because of necessity, is because of loyalty, and that's Red versus Blue.
Red versus Blue too. That ties into Ruby in my opinion. I mean, not canonically.
No, I know what you mean.
But
it's
Monty. It's his legacy.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, because of that, and like YouTube with pandering to the corporations now with the advertisements and just like. They're trying to become TV, and people are like, no, we go to YouTube for not TV. I don't want to see Stephen Colbert on the fucking home page.
It's what the hell is it called? It's these types of channels like Machinima, like Rooster Teeth, where they host other channels, and usually it's not even anything different. It's more of the same, just with a different face.
Those multi-channel networks?
Yes, the multi-channel networks, and that's become a really big issue on YouTube.
Multi-channel networks are dead now.
Yeah.
I actually never really knew about that. Wow.
I watched the video on YouTube from are we naming YouTubers out here?
I don't care.
We just name dropped Rooster Teeth Machinima. I watched it from Film Theory, Matt Pat.
That's fine.
He had talked about the problem with multi-channel networks.
Yeah, because it's almost because you don't need them. At a certain point in time, you don't need them at all. Like they were a big thing in 2011 and to 2015 because. It was because of copyright claims. People playing music, people playing TV shows, and then people stopped doing it and just kept with their own content. You stopped. The need for them stopped completely because they took some of your check it was kind of like it was kind of like a weird insurance thing. Mm-hmm. And once you start making your own content, like your own ideas, everything was your own. Why not have 100% of the money?
Nah, they hit you with that Soviet Russian Bugs Bunny meme. This is my money, our money,
essentially
our money.
But yeah, YouTube is. I don't really like YouTube anymore. It's hard to even find good content to me these days. Without like I find something good and then it's like I get recommended like all this shit I really don't want to see, and I'm like, why is this here, man?
All I use YouTube for nowadays is Did You Know Gaming, Matt Pat, Saber Spark, and. Honestly,
Saber Spark, I really like him.
All I'm really using YouTube for is what I could be using podcasts for.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially.
Like, virtually. All I'm doing is, when I'm on YouTube while I'm driving places. I'm not really listening to music. I'm listening to people talk, and I'm not paying attention.
My girlfriend actually does that. She listens to podcasts.
That's all I do when I'm at work and when I'm driving. I barely listen to music anymore. I just listen to podcasts. I listen to video essays.
Yeah.
I have a whole playlist. My watch later, it's just like, what am I going to listen to while I'm at work?
Same.
Yeah,
like,
pretty
it's
much.
Crazy.
But I think that covers YouTube nicely.
On to the very last subject, which we are probably going to have to wrap up a little soon because we are at the...
Yeah, so we actually went a little bit way further than what I expected.
Honestly, if we want to, if you guys want to...
We can do a two-parter.
We can do a two-parter and have a 45-minute section dedicated to that.
Sounds good to me. Alright, so with Sonic... Oh, dude.
I actually have an idea for the two-parter.
Oh,
I told him this already, but I had a Sonic tier list. Two of them that I made.
Characters and video games.
So for the two-parter, we could just do the. I said before I was gonna redo it when I had better insight. I could get you two along.
So remember how you did
the stream for it.
Remember how you did on stream and you had a video camera. So we should all go into Google Hangouts, screen share, and do it just like that.
Not a bad plan.
Not a bad plan at all.
We will do this next month, guys.
Yeah, next month. We'll look into that. I'll let you guys know in the Discord. and we'll sort that out. But all right, let's get into it. Sonic, I love the guy. Obvious glaring issues, but I still love him through and through. What I don't like are seeing the most atrocious hot takes on Twitter about Sonic, and I regret ever following the stupid fucking like topic on Twitter. But it's like I do like to hear about people's opinions on what they think and like things about Sonic. But half the time, people are just shitting out
opinions. They have opinions.
Sonic was the second game I've ever beaten in my life. First game was Streets of Rage 2. But Sonic the Hedgehog, that's the first single player game I've ever beaten. Only got 5 chaos emeralds though, but whatever.
we're not gonna. That's the extra ending.
You were one behind if we're talking Sonic 1.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, like it's Sonic. I don't even know where to begin. I will actually begin with the very controversial hot take. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The Archie comics should be the canon universe.
They are the canon universe, and Thank you. Yes, they are the canon.
I'm on the other side of that argument.
All right, hold on. I want to hear this though.
Yeah, go for it.
We are going to do this later because I literally don't have an argument for it right now. It's been a long time since I've read those comics.
I literally have a shotgun loaded of opinions for this shit. Every time waiting, like,
I love the Archie comics. It's just that sometimes that humor from 90s, that weird 60s, 90s humor was just like...
Like, no. And don't get me wrong. A lot of things in the comics that you're reading, you're like...
Yikes.
Remember Muscular Tales?
Hold on there, sir.
We're editing this part out.
We're going to talk about Muscular Tales. We're going to start talking about Fleetway Sonic, and I don't think anyone wants to go with that nuclear chaos control bastard. Hey, man. That chaos energy where it was, he turned his eyes into red spirals.
I kind of like that, though, because it was kind of like, chaos.
He got his own personality, too.
Exactly. Like, I appreciate, like, it actually was like, okay, the Chaos Emeralds, they're called the Chaos Emeralds. Then they later said, okay, positive and negative energy, but back then it was just like, holy shit, the Chaos Emeralds. He can't control this power.
It kind of reminds me of the anime Sonic X, where you did have a Super Sonic who could, with the regular Chaos Emeralds, and then you had a Dark Sonic.
They really needed to expand that.
With those other Chaos Emeralds. We need a new anime type animation of Sonic.
We do, but unfortunately, they would have to pander to kids more because it's like this is a problem with a lot of things because it's like people want what I've noticed people on Twitter talk about is they want just more cohesiveness with Sonic.
Yes, we need something
going.
We need something we need some type of continuity. We need something that we can all go by, not this weird pipeline that we're all doing.
Like going with like Sonic Adventure, like how Tails was coming into age and being brave, to like Sonic Forces to him being like, "Oh no, where's Sonic? I'm useless."
See, that really hurt me considering that took place right after Sonic Lost World, where Tails was really ready to just deck Sonic in his shit for even suggesting they team up with Eggman. Tails was at that point of his whole, like, look, I'm better than Eggman, alright? I'm the genius here. Why would you team up with him?
Why are you going to that third-rate scientist?
Right.
With his fourth-rate robot.
And then he ended up outsmarting the Zeddy by pretending to be controlled by them just for him to go, gotcha, bitch. Hey, Sonic, let's do this. Just for him to turn around, like you said, in Forces and just shit himself from being useless.
And I like, don't get me wrong, Forces was pretty okay, but like unfortunately I think they really they listen to the wrong people somehow when it comes to the games. They listen to the wrong people.
Yeah.
And actually I know people definitely there's definitely people on my side on this with 06. I don't care what anybody says, it's a good game, it was rushed.
Yes.
Good game but rushed.
It was they wanted to get onto the 360 and PS3 fast, so they just
you should have seen my screen. I roasted the shit out of 06.
Like, don't get me wrong. It was really weird.
We are going to redo that list because he has Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles in B tier.
Are you my fucking friend?
Are you my fucking friend? S tier at all.
Like, I can tolerate A tier, but you know what? It was personal opinion. I'll respect that. But motherfucker, Sonic 3 and Knuckles was like was probably one of their crowning achievements, only because it was like
I think I put Sonic 3 and Knuckles at A tier, but I think I put Sonic and Knuckles at B tier.
Then that is extraordinarily fair. That is actually no, because it was it's fair because Sonic and Knuckles was incomplete practically because the fucking top loader, like, it was incomplete. Like, Sonic and Knuckles was a great story. Like, I love the whole thing between it, but when they were just like fucking fusion and you were like Hyper Emeralds,
right? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Super Emeralds, but
that's why it needs to be an A tier, an S tier.
Okay.
With all that extra content, when you go out of your way to actually get all that stuff done, it rewards you with like one of the best abilities Sonic has ever had.
Fucking murdering everything in sight.
Yes.
Like, Sonic literally just sitting there like, this ain't the like fuck. It's like Thanos when he had the glove. It's just like, holy shit. And just look at Eggman. He's fucking shitting himself in his fucking vehicle, and he's literally looking at him like, you know, I'm God now, right? Like, I'm virtually God. Which the thing is about what I love and hate about the IDW series. Like, I follow all the creative minds behind the IDW series, and like they openly said like their guidelines for making the comic was strict as fuck. They're like, they can't show too much emotion. What's a fucking backstory? Like,
what the fuck is a backstory? We don't. This is lore. Throw shit out the window.
It wasn't that they're not gonna do it. It's just like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Like they fucking kick over the door of them working, and they're like, there better not be a backstory going on in here. No, sir, Sega, sir.
We need to flesh out a character.
Why is that a fucking flashback? This ain't Naruto, bitch. Take that shit somewhere else.
No, they better not be that. No,
Jesus,
they have too many flashbacks and that shit. Fuck that.
But
that's what brings it down. We could talk about anime later.
Yeah. Oh god, actually, that's actually a really nice topic. But like, I really appreciate what they're doing, and I know you're gonna hate me for this still, but I love Tangle and Whisper.
Oh no,
they do not need to be shoehorned in everything.
Okay.
People are like, oh, they need to be in the new Sonic game. They need to be here. They need to do that. Oh, just put them in there. And I'm like, that's why the cohesiveness is lacking, because people like them are like, a new character comes out that's lovable. New characters come out that people like, and they're like, they need to be in everything.
I love Styx, but that's the Sonic Boom.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Oh
that
yeah,
stuck to
yes,
Boom.
yeah. That was really. I love her character, but you know what? She's in the Sonic Boom universe. Leave her in the Sonic Boom universe. She fits in that universe. Trying to shoehorn her everywhere else would be unnecessary.
The way I see it, if none of the original characters from Sonic Sat AM, Sonic the comics, the original Archie comics, if I don't see Sally, fuck Antoine. But if I don't see Antoine,
whoa, wait. Wait, this dude had the greatest comeback.
All right, yeah, he came up, but for the longest time,
he was an insufferable piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie.
But if I don't see Antoine, Rotor, Bonnie, if I don't see any of the original gang in a video game, Nicole, then I don't want to see these new bloods in the video game. Like Shadow, the new characters they added in the Adventure series, that was fine, because the comics and the games, they were sort of side by side. They were
they kind of like they kept things. They practically made it canon in that universe with Shadow's backstory, and then like I remember like specifically like Shadow actively came to Sonic at them with like some information, like a broken disc, and this dude was like out of character, like, I really need you to fix this.
Right.
Like, I really need this fixed because I need to figure this out.
That SA2 story was just that had to be one of the most profound Sonic stories we've ever gotten so far, in video game form, of course, because it had so many twists and things you didn't see coming that it was the defining generation of the Dreamcast.
Oh yes.
You know, I feel like what made Adventure 2's story and Force's story so different is the fact that Adventure 2 was good, and the writing was good, and they didn't take themselves too seriously in Adventure 2. They were still able to keep things light, despite the heavier tones, despite the fact that in the English version, they straight up wrote out the part about Robotnik's cousin, Maria, having AIDS, or NIDS. The American version, they wrote that part out, but in Forces, there was like no semblance of comedy or fun whatsoever. And I get it's because Eggman took over the world. It was darker. But with the dumb shit that you can do in that game, they took themselves entirely too seriously. Right. And I'm not saying that's Force's only shortcoming.
But we all know what Sonic's known for. Making quips and everything.
Even in the face of danger, this dude's like, I'm going to kick your ass.
Right. And there was that in Forces, but it wasn't. It
didn't feel genuine.
Right. It felt just straight up cheesy, ham-fisted.
And speaking of cheesy and ham-fisted, I read like in the 30 or 40 years later series, where it was like when Sonic was like the
king,
when he was the king and all that, and I think it was Silver. It was Silver, and I think some kids who were like fanboying over like when he said let's do it to it.
Yeah,
that was kind of cheesy, but the purpose was he's old now. He's gonna say shit like that to be like
he's dead.
Look, I mean, I'm glad we kept the good times because shortly after we hit that Dark Mobius story, and that shit got heavy, and that I mean. Despite what I just said about Forces needing some lighthearted comedy to keep it good, Dark
series needed to be
no, that's the thing. Like, and then going back to like keeping things light, but also dark. The IDW series, the fucking Zombot virus.
That shit.
Like when the beginning started, like, and one of the covers was like everybody saving kids, but Sonic was bouncing around cheering them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this dude, if he fucks up, turns into a Zombot. They're fucked.
But he's still here making the kids laugh.
Like he's their fearless leader that he can be vulnerable to them because they trust him. He can do that.
Yes, oh dude, when Cream was so mad at him, that broke my heart. When she was just like, "Hi, Mr. Sonic," and it was just like,
"Oh, you felt that." No voice acting, but you felt that.
You can see it, like the crush, like how Sonic must have felt was like, I let of all people. Cream down, dude. Cream. Like, the youngest member who literally does no harm, who I let her down. A child of purity. I let her down. And then I'm actually kind of disappointed in IDW. They literally were cock teasing me. Where it was like, okay, Sonic and Silver go super, but Shadow was a fucking joke. Like, the crowning achievement, the backtrack for Sonic 06 for me was the triple threat. New triple threat.
Sonic, Silver, Shadow going super against Methiles.
That was beautiful. It was like so for Silver, it was like, holy shit, this newfound power. I never knew this existed.
Right.
Like, Silver is just like, whoo! But then Sonic and Shadow are just like
old times.
This shit again. Like, Shadow's like, well, how the fuck did I get myself tricked in this shit? And Sonic's like, I fucking died, so you can't say shit. Like, I honestly wish they had that kind of banter in that game, because I think it was overdue. Like, they should have had a cutscene before the big fight with Solaris, where it was like, Silver's like kind of flipping out with his powers, and then like Shadow's just kind of like Shadow probably makes a little quip to Silver, and then Sonic, and then like Sonic would actually, I can see it in his character being like, yeah, you're not the one who got assassinated, but you don't hear me complaining.
I feel like the only game we could have gotten banter like that was Heroes. Sonic Heroes had the best banter in history.
That's why I made that comment on fucking Facebook. I was like, I miss Crush 40. We'll talk about Crush 40, but yeah, Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes was like, oh my god, I still remember the Christmas morning when I opened that up.
I remember crying at GameStop because I couldn't get it. My dad looked at me, he said no, and I was like, yo!
Remember when Sonic Riders came out? I remember my mom bought that for me for Christmas. She was like, is it Sonic Heroes or Sonic Riders? I don't know which one.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
She said, thank God I got the right one.
All right, I'm gonna confess something here.
It's okay. We're airing out our dirty laundry for Sonic here, dude.
All right, as long as this is a safe space, you guys won't stab me for this.
Get them in the comments, guys.
No. Talk.
I never played the original Sonic Riders.
That's understandable. You're missing out, but
no.
I only played.
Hold on, no.
Look, I'm trying to be supportive here, dude.
I'm not going to be supportive. What?
Out of all the Sonic games I didn't play, that was one of them.
Yo,
and it wasn't by choice.
He used to talk some heavy shit like he was some motherfucker. I was like, all right, let's play the first one. And we never got to play, and I realized why this motherfucker never played it.
Okay, that's not true. I did play it for the first time, like, sometime a couple months back when Andre had it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Honestly, the art style for the cutscenes were...
I knew everything about it, though. I watched the videos on YouTube.
That game forced you to learn a new racing system, period.
I read the manual, because my friend let me
You
borrow
can't say
that.
shit until you've done 100 lap non-stop.
I can say shit. Unbelievable start. Every time. That's how you had to learn. There was no real controls when I
won't
first
lie
played.
though, the fucking end part where Sonic was chasing after Jet for the last time and he was about to like jump off and just catch him in like 2 seconds. Tails was like, wait, I upgraded your board. I'd be like, Tails, this is a matter of the fucking world.
Right. Shut your ass.
Nah, when fucking Wave put a goddamn bomb under his board on the last race.
These
Just
motherfuckers is out for blood. Yo, was they trained by Eggman Nigga? Holy shit.
Yo, the Babylonians are some ruthless motherfuckers.
And it was like, oh yeah, we're better than you, but we're still gonna cheat. And just like, what the fuck? I thought you were better.
Like, I really like that dynamic too. Like in the opening cutscene, you saw how dirty that they were willing to be. But like Sonic and gang, they're willing to lose a race for the boys.
Right.
Like
But
Sonic was like, oh fuck no,
Right.
you ain't about to fuck over my team and think I'm gonna abandon them.
By the way, Sonic can catch up with all of them. Just want to speak.
That like yeah, Jet made that comment, which then it became like a prove your worth thing. So Sonic was like, you know what?
Let me learn something.
I actually like this. You got me. You got me.
It's still it's still like my funniest Sonic line in that opening cutscene. Cause he's like, "Oh, new competition." He said it just like that.
He was so ready, dude. Okay, let's go. Let's now actually get into the butter of the bread, meat and potatoes of their shortcomings.
I'll get my I've never played Sonic Black Knight.
That's a fair assessment because the Wii series Sonic games were considered garbage, not by this guy.
Not by this guy either.
Because Secret Rings was beautiful to me,
Never played
and
that.
Black Knight was...
Never played that one either.
Like real, yeah. Let's actually talk about that. Sure. Like, okay, it was weird for them to go in that direction, but what people don't appreciate, I feel as if, was the new taste of adventure because it kept Sonic's high speed action, but just thrust it into a new world. It was like the first one, he's just reading a book, It's like, all right, I'm chilling in the fucking fireplace. It's a late night, whatever. I'm trying to read some shit, cool down, relax. Boom, thrust into this new world. Holy shit! And it's Sonic and the Black Knight. He's just trying to get some chili dogs. Boom, summoned into a new world. And the tones of both those games were really phenomenal to me. The one I remember more with the Black Knight is, yes, all things come to an end, but you don't have to. It doesn't mean like. But it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like
the final battle theme, the song "With Me," I was listening to that last month.
I listened to that a lot.
That song is so good.
Like that was oh god, and that's a topic with Sonic and their music. But all right, look, this is for part 2. Don't worry, I know.
I'll be quick about my points after.
It like
I just got one last thing to say, but I'll let you guys go first.
It's so right, Like like I said, it was weird, but when I actually played him, I was like, I can respect this.
I feel like Sonic and the Black Knight gave us the truest essence of Sonic in the video games, and it's so slept on because it was the Wii exclusive on rails that people hated. That game drew the line in the sand of Sonic's personality. Sonic is not a true good character. Sonic is not lawful good.
He's an
Sonic
asshole.
He's a true neutral asshole. Sonic believes in freedom. Whether it's freedom to do whatever you want, as long as it's not hurting other people, if it's freedom, he's down for it. And when he's just like, yo, I just want to eat my chili dog. I don't got time for all these nights and shit.
By the way,
if people are getting hurt,
He fucking
right. He was just like, oh, someone's getting hurt. All right, I guess I'll step in.
By the way, Sonic raised a kid when he was 10.
Yeah, he did.
He raised Tails when he was 10, so it's like, what the fuck? This is like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do here?
Right.
What do you expect?
Another quick side note, real quick, is they don't really capitalize on that brotherly connection they have anymore.
They really don't. I think they were trying to with Forces, with how devastated Tails was.
That's bullshit. No,
but no,
God.
that was just a poor excuse to shoehorn classic Sonic in there.
Worst part, Tails used to be my favorite character of all time when I was like a kid.
He had it, dude. He had it.
Blaze for life.
I respect that.
No, what they did with Blaze, that was disrespectful.
Man, we're not talking about that.
You talking about what they did to Tails?
That's why I hate 06 the most.
How he's inconsolable without Sonic? Oh, what? Let's see what you see what she does. You see what Blaze does when Silver's not around? Oh my God!
First off,
he's
they gave
not
her
right here.
They gave her an A-cup complex in the manual, but never played on it. Not that I wanted to see that, but why would they just throw that in the manual? What was the point of us reading that? She has a flat chest and she gets upset when it's brought up.
Yeah, but it's like there's no real busty characters unless you. Okay, Rouge. Oh, say damn! Wow, I forgot about Rouge.
Forgot about them.
You know our good buddy Nitsua. He did not know of the existence of Sonic porn until a few months ago when we were watching a video that talked about Sonic media, and Sonic porn was brought up. He was like, "There's porn of Sonic, bro." When you get a character like Rouge the Bat with human titties. You don't think there's gonna be porn?
Hold on. Sonic fandom. You know the first fandom.
Sonic Dreams collection.
First of all, the first Sonic fandom. One of the first franchises in which where people made their own custom Sonic characters.
Bro, that's the furry starter pack.
It was the Edgelord collection.
That too. People remember that shit fondly. Like, it's. Like that's a nightmare. So we're gonna have our closing words instead.
This is definitely gonna be a part 2, by the way.
I got my closing words for Sonic. I love the franchise to death. I do not believe, aside from 1 or 2 cases, that there is a truly bad Sonic game. Honestly, I feel like Sonic suffers from what I like to call Yamcha syndrome, where it's a good series on its own, but people compare it to everything else that's doing good and assume it's terrible.
I want to cut you off real quick because I exactly saw that one thing, and I actually want to say this clear. Somebody had the audacity to sit there and be like, "Oh, what's Sonic doing? Crash seems more popular right now." And I was like, bro, they're only shitting out their remakes.
Right.
They're not that much more popular than Sonic. That's like the only reason you see a resurgence of art with the characters is because of the remakes. That's it. That is it.
By the way, that's the 4th Crash is following the first Crash's formula, which was still flawed.
Yes.
So it's just like
I'm still hyped about the 4th Crash. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, look, it's probably gonna be a good title, but for someone to say that, it was like, dude, are you stupid?
I'm like looking at the game, I was like, man, this is gonna be forgotten. It's only gonna be remembered because of his name.
That's the thing, like for him to make such a claim, it was like Sonic is a bigger household name than Crash.
First of all,
Sonic ran the households back in the day, and it was Sega's poor leadership that fucked him up.
Mm-hmm. First of all, it went against Mario, and who's got a better movie? 2 of them.
Ooh.
Live action too.
Ooh.
When Mario should have done live action and animation much better.
That man said his name is Mario.
Luigi Mario.
No, that's funny though. I do like that.
Whose cartoon was better in the 90s when they were still popping?
Which one? You got 3 of them for Sonic.
All of them.
Damn.
All of them was better than Super Mario cartoons.
You had the Adventures of Sonic with Tails. You had
SAT.
Sonic SAT and Sonic motherfucking Underground.
That's how I met Zeon. Sonic motherfucking Underground.
Someday.
Together.
That
Oh
was
my
shit.
god!
Jaleel,
I used to listen to that unapologetically.
Right.
Jaleel White, man. Jesus Christ, he was Sonic.
Wish that would get finished. Of all Kickstarters and shit I see, dude. But you know what? We're not gonna talk about that.
My last point. Everyone, for some reason, the one Sonic game, besides 06, the only Sonic game everybody likes to make fun of is Sonic Unleashed, which was, in my opinion, when that game first came out, it was the best. When the Daylight Sonic came out, that was the best Sonic we've seen in a long time.
I still think that's the fastest we've ever seen Sonic. Like, they straight up give us a meter to show how fast he's been, and that's like the fastest we've been able to control Sonic.
Yeah.
Without getting careened off screen like in 06.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, the werewolf sections
It was
weren't
rushed. Holy shit.
It was rushed.
I like the werewolf sections. I actually.
Oh
like
no,
playing
that's the
the
thing. Like, it wasn't like the werewolf section wasn't that far fetched because Eggman had to lure him. He had the emeralds. If Eggman just had the emeralds, Sonic wouldn't be in the mix. But the fact that Eggman needed the emeralds and Sonic was currently employing their power, that's where that came in, and that was Sonic absorbing Dark Gaia's power. Which, okay, you could argue instead of a werehog, they probably should have Dark Sonic. That was probably the perfect opportunity.
It'd have been too much like Jack too then.
Exactly. But then no, not really, because it's not like Sonic can just turn super at will.
Oh yeah,
like because it would be more like a pseudo Dark Sonic, like let's say if he could employ the power of one emerald at a time if he had it, which technically with chaos control, but I mean like turning it to a pseudo super, and he would change it to the color of the emerald he has at the moment.
Ball super. Okay.
Yeah, so something like that. So like
I like that.
Yeah, see, because he can't just turn super whenever, like Saiyans. It's an external source, which he doesn't really like to rely on actually. Oh god, that's a whole nother top. Holy shit! All right. My closing statements. Jesus fuck. I will always revere Sonic to be my favoriteest thing in the whole wide world.
Number 2 for me.
Number 1 for me.
I respect the things for Sonic that I really like it, and I really love the creativity that they have and how they stay true to him sometimes. Like I said, with the Archie comics, I think that did Sonic the greatest justice by having such a cohesive universe. Like cringe aside, the cohesive universe of Sonic Archie comics was a really respectable thing. Because it's not like they really shoehorned in like the love interests. Like it was like a small little arc and stuff here and there, and like continuing things. But it was a really nice cohesive thing where it's like you knew the world. Like everything had a purpose. There was lore behind everything. It made sense. You had an origin. You had an origin of the Chaos Emeralds. Like where's the origin for the Master Emerald?
You had an origin for why Sonic looked different. After the fall of Eggman, he ended up going through a warp zone where he ended up like becoming distorted and getting taller with green eyes. So he matched his adventure counterpart. Like that was beautiful writing.
There was a backstory of where the Chaos Emeralds came from and who protected them and why
the echidnas did what they did.
Why the echidnas did what they did. It's so much lore that can be explored.
Fucking rip echidnas, bro.
Right.
They got it the worst.
I don't know, man. The Sonic movie, man. They was doing some bullshit on the Sonic movie, man. But that's the movie. 3 different universes now.
Waiting for love on my boy O'Nux. Alternate universe Knuckles.
Yeah. We'll see how that. Oh god, that's so many topics.
Yeah.
But look,
here's the closing statements of the podcast, guys. We've had some fun.
Obviously.
Nice, almost hour and a half actually.
Yeah.
Oh man,
beautiful.
This is our first guest who actually might not just be a guest, honestly.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Go ahead and promote yourself, man. What's your socials?
All right, what's up? I'm still Sparks the Ice Lad on Twitch. I'm IceLad6595 on PlayStation. You can add me at Sparks6595. I believe my Twitter handle is just straight up Sparks the Ice Lad. And damn, that's the same thing for my Discord too. So I keep it simple.
Hit them up, y'all.
My YouTube channel, Still channel. I try to post as frequently as I can. My most recent posts have just been promotions for my streams. I eventually am going to edit down my streams and just post highlights from them to my channel. And other than that, I'm glad to be part of the podcast.
All right. So we have missed a couple topics. I definitely want to apologize about the dogs as well. Definitely out of my control. It may or may not be edited out. So you reach this point and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, I apologize. All right, I told you this was impromptu. Nothing's professional. All right, this is a impromptu gig.
Hey man, rate us 5 stars, man. We the best.
All right, we're regardless of our shortcomings, we're the best. But
we give y'all the real.
But again, these are our opinions. We come together, talk, and if things take off, maybe I'll care to do some research. But this is just opinions of 3 guys having fun and just talking about shit. So with that, again, I'd like to apologize. Thank you for listening. And other than that, I guess
Generation Z Radio signing off.
There you go.